We will drive on our tickets. Yeah, you can drive with it. Hi, how are you?
Oh,
Hi, man.
How are you?
Oh, you made it!
Amazing!
Oh, you like the company.
Let's get down. Oh, are you kidding?
You're supposed to be looking good, boys.
Welcome back to Kosice, Slovakia, day 5 of the World Hockey Championship. Martin Frano and Olivier Gouin are the referees for this game between Denmark and Great Britain. Danes open with a shootout win over France, going back from a 4-2 deficit to win that one. And there is Peter Russell, the head coach of Great Britain, which lost its opener 3-1 to Germany. That was a 1-1 game in the third period. And 8-0 loss to Canada. We mentioned that Heinz Ehler's team won a shootout against France, then lost 2-1 to Germany in a very tight game in their second. Well, the Danes, who were in the top division of the World Championship for the 17th consecutive year, take on Great Britain, which is in the top division for the first time since 1994, just the third time since 1951. But as we mentioned, Ray, the best chance for Great Britain to survive relegation is to either win this game against Denmark or their closer against France. That's their only hope. We talked about it with Korea last year, Hungary 2 years ago. You've got to win one of those two.
And a lot of it will be on Ben Bounds, who was extremely busy against Canada. Bounds gave up 8 goals and 51 shots on goal. He has to hold them in. Sebastian Daum will be in goal for the 3rd straight time for Denmark. But you're right, the bookend games left here for Britain are really what it's all about. The middle 3 are a pretty tall order.
Off the face-off, Ben Davies fires that down to the Danish zone, and Jesper Jensen Abo comes back to pick it up. There are 4 Jensens or Jensens on this Danish team. This is Nick Jensen, who fires it in, the former first-round pick of the Vancouver Canucks.
This is probably as accurate as you'll be all tournament. You're going to get most of the guys right. They're all the same name.
You can't go wrong if you guess Jensen or Jensen, and Jensen puts that wide.
It is really something to look at their lineup and see the same name and know it's pronounced differently with different people.
And by the way, we'll get an early power play now for the Danes. Robert Lakowitz goes off for interference. I believe it's going to be Lakowitz.
And this is actually on Denmark.
Lars Eller, wow. Ah, there you go. Little stick lift there on Phillips. And so Great Britain goes to the power play. Brits are 0 for 3 so far. So we've talked about this repeatedly, Ray, at these tournaments. Here's element one, special teams.
And one of the reasons it's so important on the power play is that a team like Britain doesn't possess the puck a lot, so you're not going to draw a lot of penalties. When you get one, you better find a way to at least be dangerous. This is a great opportunity for them here in the first minute of the game.
Face-off controlled by Denmark and fired down the ice by Nicholas Jensen. Ben O'Connor drops that back for Brett Perlini, native of Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. His dad, Fred Perlini, is a legend in British hockey. Played for the Guildford Flames for a long time. His number is retired there. Drop back to Perlini, and quickly closing on him was Morten Madsen. And here is O'Connor, who began the year in Sweden but returned to Britain midway through the year. Brought in by Robert Farmer. Farmer winds it back in deep. That's picked off by Jensen Abo, and he sends it down. Farmer scored the critical goal for the British that got them promoted from Division 1A. He scored the tying goal against Hungary with 15 seconds left in the third period of that final game. That point clinched promotion for Great Britain.
It wasn't going to be easy. In that 8 seconds, or 15 seconds rather, they gave up a breakaway as well.
On the face-off after the goal, Hungary got a breakaway.
But now they're here, and they're thrilled to be here, and they would just love to find a way to sting Denmark.
Lake winds his way in. They played well against Germany in that first game. Mike Hammond scored the tying goal in the third period, and then 2 quick goals by the Germans put it away.
They haven't even got set up at all here on this penalty kill. The Danes have done a terrific job taking the ice away.
Liam Kirk, who played for Peterborough this year in the Ontario League, had 26 goals for them, plays it around, knocked down by Lake. Final seconds now, the power play. Lake has that knocked down by Lauritsen. That's Marcus Lauritsen. No shots on goal, and really no threat for Great Britain on that power play. Swindlehurst. Look at for Farmer, icing waved off. There's Oliver Lauritsen rather goes back for it. Oliver Lauritsen got tied up in the corner. Held by Dallas Earhart of the lineup over Brandon Wheat King. A number of these British players have North American roots, either born there or played there. 5 were born in Canada, another in the United States. Earhart peels back. Earhart, a Calgary native, spins and shoots. He fired that through.
A teammate of Mark Stone when they were in Brandon.
At the sign of the goal, Jesper Jensen up for Matthias Bau. And Bau plays that back to center ice. Jesper Jensen moving in. That's played out by Ben Bounds. Meyer looks ahead. That pass broken up. And here is Swindlehurst with it. 3.5 gone here in a scoreless first period. Later on today, we'll have Germany against France in this building, and currently underway in Bratislava, Italy, taking on Latvia.
A lot of these players have been together a long time. They've worked their way just a few years ago down 2 levels, won that tournament. Last year won the qualifying tournament to get into this World Championship, and Pete Russell has been their coach. This is his 5th year. Think of where they've come from just to even get here.
2 years ago, they're down in Division 1B with Croatia, Estonia, Lithuania, Holland. Their national junior program is in the 4th level, Division 2A. Their under-18 team just got promoted from the 5th level to the 4th level.
ranked 22nd in the world, yet because of the qualifying tournament win, they are here.
Hammond throws that rink wide, picked up by Steve Lee. Lee wearing a full face shield after getting hit in the face with the puck earlier. And now Lassen back to pick it up. If you're Denmark, don't play with fire here, right?
You want to get in front as quickly as you can. Part of that formula for the underdog is to always shorten the game down. Even though Great Britain didn't have a shot on that first power play, I mean, while that's distressing, they melt 5 minutes off the clock at a time, and pretty soon you're in a place where Denmark's more uncomfortable than Britain. Britain will be thrilled the longer this game stays right where it is.
Played back at the point, Brugesser. Back for Marcus Lorentzen, that was blocked. Now played across to Philip Brugesser. Nick Jensen in, shoots, and the glove save made by Bounds.
Nick Jensen had 11 shots on goal in the 3-2 loss against Germany, the former Vancouver Canucks first rounder of 2011. Scored 3 goals in 31 NHL games. He was never able to quite crack it full time. Played 277 games in the American League before he came back over to Europe. He also had 3 minor penalties the other day. He runs a little hot at times.
He's been known to have a temper. We've seen it before. His dad, Dan, is part of the coaching staff for Denmark. Heinz Ehlers, the head coach, is the father of Nikolai Ehlers of the Winnipeg Jets.
We saw a little intensity from him.
Oh, he burns hot. He's at the officials, at his players, you name it. O'Connor holds the line, throws it back in front, bouncing puck went off the stick of Kirk.
I would say he's not quite as entertaining as Lars Eller's dad.
Olaf, yeah. Shields moves in, that bounce away from him. Olaf is more.
He's animated.
Yeah, he's not angry. He's an open book. Like you know what he's thinking at all times. Centering pass that was tipped wide. Good defensive play there by Evan Mosey for Britain. Now back from the point, that long shot taken by Nicholas Jensen. That's kicked away by Bounds. Under chance in front. And this time Meyer is stopped by Bounds. Nicholas Jensen has it picked off. Shields move ahead. Colin Shields in his 17th year with the British national team. He's 39 years old. Plays for the Belfast Giants. They won the playoffs in the Elite Ice Hockey League, which is the British Premier League, formerly known as. But in Britain, the regular season championship is more prestigious, much like soccer. Brought in by Morton Madsen. Leads that across, and Mikael Bottcher got bumped off the puck. Mark Richardson swings back with it. Richardson is 14th year with the National Team. A half dozen of these players, Ray, have been with the British National Team program for 10 or more years. It's a long slog through the lower divisions of the IIHF.
They were talking about the growth of the game in Britain, of the league, how it's gotten better, how it's gotten more profitable.
It's a full-time living now for players to play in Britain. As Lakowitz moves in. Lakowitz plays that around for Jonathan Phillips. Captain of this British team in his 16th year with them.
8 of them as the captain.
But the belief is that by being promoted, just the exposure here will really benefit the game in Britain. Wraparound try there for Paulson. That was knocked away.
Hooking penalty coming up here.
12:24 remaining here in the period. Denmark to the power play. Denmark for the power play. 7.5 gone here. In the opening period, the Danes are 1 for 10 on the man advantage. Marcus Lorentzen has their power play goal.
Gotta say, I haven't heard Yellow Submarine in a game in a while.
Is that band still together?
No, no, they've not.
They broke up, did they?
They have broken up, yes.
I heard that somewhere. Storm plays it across to Eller. And Lars Eller, the first Danish trained player to win the Stanley Cup.
Oh, they're calling
the
this a
puck. They're gonna say
deflection.
deflection, and they'll come outside. That was almost, are they saying a penalty here? No.
Oh,
Oh,
yes,
they are. Swindlehurst is going to go off. It's delay of game. 5-on-3 Denmark for 1 minute and 40 seconds. Eller lost the puck, and Swindlehurst put it over the glass.
Oh, yeah, you see it flip up on its edge, and he just airmails it over top of the glass. What a chance here for Denmark. As she knows.
Yeah, see, they know.
Shoot it up over there. We got another guy on we got another power play. And so now, if we talked about how Britain can stay in the game, this isn't it. 5-on-3 power play for 1 minute 41.
And Eller sets it up. Back at the point for Marcus Lorentzen, and the pass got away from him. Lorentzen to Storm. Jesper Jensen moves it back, and a hard shot taken there by Marcus Lorentzen, knocked away by Bounds. Jensen to Lorentzen. Eller tees it up and shoots, and that's blocked by Ollie Betteridge. That took a bite out of him. And now Eller back with it. Lorentzen. Jensen in, fires, Bounds, save in tight. And Storm couldn't get to the rebound. Jesper Jensen swings it back to Nick Jensen. Marcus Lorentzen works in. Across to Eller. Eller a backdoor pass. They score! Jesper Jensen on the 5-on-3, and Denmark will remain on the power play.
The first couple of goes at it for Denmark, I was looking at how uncreative they were with the puck. Get it, shoot it, get it, shoot it. This time they move it across, they double stack in front of the net, and that leaves the defenseman Richardson trying to decide where to take the pass away. Lars Eller's heads up. This is a beautiful pass to Jesper Jensen. And Jensen, who played with Skellefteå in the Swedish Hockey League this year, had 3 goals. Well, he's got his second of this tournament. And the Danes are up 1-0.
Scored the tying goal against France in the third period when Denmark came back from 4-2 down. So the power play continues now for over a minute as Denmark strikes on the 5-on-3. That puck over the glass penalty, a crushing blow for Britain.
And worse yet that they weren't able to kill the first chunk of it off, so now the 5-on-3 turns into 5-on-4. They've still got another 35 seconds to kill.
Jensen Abo drops that back for Bodker. In for Bow. Bodker to Regan. Down to Bodker. Back in front, score! Bow! Snaps that by Bounds. And it's 2-0.
Now that delay with the puck over the glass is a costly penalty for them. Goals in back-to-back games for Matthias Bow. Bow missed the entire season with an injury. He was made available from the Washington Capitals last year. He had 13 goals as a rookie in the American Hockey League. Takes a little feed from Mikhail Bodker, and the one-timer's a beauty up over the glove of Ben Bounds. And 9.5 minutes in, 2 power play goals give the Danes a 2-0 lead.
Bow's second year in North America. He's 25 years of age. Also known as Mattia Bow Hansen. There's been some discussion about that. There's a sharp angle shot taken by Robert Farmer, and the save is made by Sebastian Dahm.
Well, not being able to kill off the first chunk of that power play also cost Britain, as The Danes get the 2 power play goals 48 seconds apart. Jesper Jensen takes a nice feed from Lars Eller to make it 1-0, and Matthias Bau with a quick shot up over the glove of Ben Bounds, and that's turned into a pretty good first 10 minutes on the special teams for Denmark. A penalty kill where they don't even give up a shot, and then 2 power play markers.
Bau's a pretty big guy at 6'7", 240 pounds. Shields shoots, and Dam knocks that away. Sebastian Dam had quite an adventure in his first game against France. Gave him a shot from center ice. Stopped a breakaway right after that. And hung in there for a 5-4 shootout win. Of course, last year the Danes had Frederik Andersen of the Toronto Maple Leafs on home ice in Herning and Copenhagen. As Nick Jensen walks in and shoots, he put that wide. Moved out by Perlini. And the puck dies before the end line, and play continues. 9:20 to go here in the opening period. Danes have some young players coming, though. As Meyer moves in, drops that back, and the hard shot drifted wide by Jensen Abo.
Matthias From is with the San Jose Sharks. He's one of their black aces up in the playoffs. Joachim Blichfield had over 30 goals and over 40 goals rather in Portland this year, or the Western Hockey League. And then the youngster Jonas Ronberg, who we've seen at the World Juniors 4 times, is another youngster that will be in this national program for a long time.
Hammond shoots, got blocked in front, down trying to reach it. And now picked up by Bodker. Rink wide he goes for Oliver Lauritsen rather. And Lake throws that back to center ice. Got the Lauritsen brothers and 4 combinations of Jensen or Jensen on this Danish team. And by the way, the linesman who's here from Denmark, also a Jensen.
Of course he is.
Olesen had that bounce right back to him and throws that wide of the goal. Paulson around for Olesen. Larson back to Jensen. He moves in from the point. Wraparound try, stopped in tight by Bounds. Olesen gets it back. Throws it back in the slot. Shoots, score! Morten Paulson, and it's 3-0 Denmark. The conversation on the bench, sorry Ray, might be about a goalie change for Great Britain.
Jackson Whistle played the last few minutes in the last game and stopped all 5 of the shots he had. Look at the spacing though, as the Brits are all boxed in but deep. Nobody picks up the high guy, and Paulson has plenty of time to take the Olesen pass. Not only take it, but stop it, tee it up, and this goes underneath the arm of Bounds, and it's 3-0. This middle portion of the period has been a disaster for Great Britain.
And that puck bobbled at the line, called offside. 7:42 to go in the opening period. Denmark has a 3-0 lead. Jesper Jensen, one of the goal scorers for Denmark. Danes will play Finland Thursday, United States Saturday, Canada Monday, Slovaks Tuesday. A tough schedule to finish for the Danes. We saw the Slovaks front-end load their schedule. The organizers did. So the Slovaks played Finland, Canada, USA in their first 3 games.
1.8 seconds away from overtime against Canada, which would have been a fabulous point for them to have in one of the most wild games we've seen at the World Championship in some time.
But they got 3 thanks to their win against the United States in their opener. So you almost wonder which is better, to be in the Slovaks' position to have your games early, the tough games earlier. Denmark has the tough games late, so you better get your points in the early going. The pressure's on in the first few days to pile up the points when you can.
So do you want the answer in advance, or can I wait till the end to tell you when I want the games?
No, you can't. Sorry. Jesper Jensen fans on the one-timer.
As it's turned out for Slovakia, that's about as good as they could have hoped for. 3 points out of those teams. There's not going to be a lot of teams that are going to grab 3 against the Finns, the US, and Canada.
The Slovaks also cook the books in another way, a far more subtle way. They play 7 games in the group stage. Their opposition plays the day before in all but the first. Obviously, you can't in the first. So in every game after that, their opposition has played the day before.
That's just lucky. You're the host country. You can help it out a little.
Sure.
Help your guys out a bit.
Peter Regan goes rink wide, picked up by Oliver Lorentzen. Denmark got relegated to the World Junior this year, and after 5 straight years in the top division, that was a really remarkable feat for the Danes. Of course, only 10 teams in the World Junior as opposed to 16 in the World Championship. Dowd moves in, and that pass is blocked by Regan. Offside called at the Danish line. You're watching the 2019 World Hockey Championship.
Right now, the score between Italy and Latvia is 0-0. Bratislava is následuje medzi Talianskom a Lotyšskom 0-0.
Nothing. Denmark leads here in Bratislava. Still no score between Latvia and Italy. The shots are 17-2 for Latvia. That's some serious coursing.
Oh yeah.
See what I was doing there?
I do. Mr. Jim Corsi.
Named after him, although it apparently had nothing to do with him.
No, it was a goaltending metric to see how much work the goalies were getting.
Dowd moves in on a backhand shot, and the save made by Dowd. Talked to Robert Dowd the other day. He's saying thrill of a lifetime to play in this tournament. We saw the Brits, when Canada came up for the warm-up, 2 players standing at center ice kind of looked over their shoulder and looked at each other as if to say, how cool is this? And then, you know, you can say all you want about how they're going to get caved in here, but this is a huge thrill for them and for their program. This is an enormous step for British hockey. And former coach of their national team said the result here doesn't matter. These players, the ones who are veterans of this team, will retire. They'll fan out across the British Isles and coach. They'll spread the word. And, you know, a young kid will, we talk about Scottsdale, Arizona. A young kid got hooked on Coyotes hockey, and, you know, 18 years later, Austin Matthews is a star in the NHL.
Well, the sport they're most passionate about, their football, our soccer. Canada hasn't been in the World Cup since 1986, and so the goal or the challenge to get back doesn't happen in 2 or 3 years. It takes decades because the players have to be born, they have to be trained, they have to be developed, and until it's going to have a shot in the arm, like these guys might give British hockey, it's just going to take forever. You've got to build the passion. Somebody's got to be accessible. it's one thing to watch NHL players. It's another to watch somebody you see live on a daily basis play in the World Championships. That's where British hockey hopes to get to. When I was a kid, I wanted to play like the Trail Smokiners. They played Friday nights at the Trail Cominco Arena. Those were my heroes. The
Right.
NHL was some far-off thing. But I saw these guys every Friday night.
You think about that golden generation of American hockey players, Ronick, Amante, Modano. When were they born? Right around, they were 8, 9 years old when the USA won the gold medal at the 1980 Olympics.
I'll give you another one. My wife.
Right.
She was born in 1971, and her heroes were Mike Eruzione and Mark Johnson. And she became passionate about the game and decided that was what she wanted to do.
Now O'Connor with a steal works in, tried to center it, and that was broken up by Jensen Abo. O'Connor trying to work it around. And now Farmer plays it back in. Davies trying to fight off Jensen Abo, centers that, and Bow has it back. Bow, long lead pass, finds Morton Madsen. And with the Danes peeling back, Madsen's the only man in the offensive zone by about 80 feet.
That's a bad feeling. You get in the zone, you got a little zip, and you turn around and you're the only guy there. But Denmark with 3 goals in under 4 minutes, 2 on the power play, and a comfortable 3-0 lead. And now they'll be able to stretch their lines out, be able to not overplay anyone. In particular, Jesper Jensen Abo, their defenseman, plays huge minutes for them. He played 31 in the 3-2 loss against Germany. So he doesn't have to do that today. Catch a little bit of a breather for him here.
Mosey up ahead for Farmer. And now Evan Mosey steps around Regan. A poke check there. Lake brings it back in. He got knocked off the puck. And Brugesser picks it back up for Denmark. Centering pass and a chance for down. That was blocked.
Oh, that took a chunk out of Lawrenson.
Lawrenson got in the way of that. And limps back to the Danish bench. In comes Olesen, works in and shoots, and Bounds kicks that away. O'Connor, long wrist shot, that's kicked out. Oh, we got some news from Bratislava. Italy on its its third shot has taken the lead on Latvia.
What are the shots now?
20-3.
In Atlanta, you know, Gord, we used to call that the reverse trap. We'd hem the other team in our zone.
So they got tired?
And then we'd go down and shoot once or twice. This is how it works. Now you're up 1. 20-3. That doesn't seem sustainable.
I'm no analytics expert, but that doesn't seem like something that regression would appear to be the order of the day there. I think we all have our eyes half closed for tomorrow night when Italy plays Russia. However, this just in, coach's challenge in Bratislava. Hold all tickets.
Oh, man. It's hard enough to score, and then they challenge you. Come on.
Richardson sends that rink wide for Lakowitz. There ought to be a rule.
Yeah, but it's 0-0.
No, I'm saying if you're below like 15th in the world rankings, you can't have a goal challenge. Here's Bow with it. And time expires here at the end of the first period. Denmark, a 3-0 lead on Great Britain. Our first intermission is coming up.
Shots on goal in the first period. Denmark 13, Great Britain 6. Sterling Adam v prvej tretine, Dánsko 13, Veľká Británia 6. Bratislava score between Italy and Latvia is 0-0.
Back here for the second period in Kosice, Slovakia. Denmark a 3-0 lead on Great Britain after 1 period of play. Denmark opened with a shootout win over France, a 2-1 loss to Germany, and now has the meat of its schedule ahead of it after today: Finland, the United States, Canada, and Slovakia.
I need to stick it on first, wait, good.
Teams start the second period 5-on-5 as Jonathan Phillips chips it in.
Power play played a big part of where we are right now. As Denmark killed off a Great Britain power play in the first minute rather easily, a penalty to Lars Eller, and then on a 5-on-3 scored on both ends of it.
You saw in the intermission further proof that hockey can be an extraordinarily cruel game. Italy's goal waved off or disallowed on offside.
I gotta say, I hate the offside review.
Okay.
I really do.
That shot hit the mask of Dam, who poked that away.
Because I think for what it was intended for, it's now morphed into something that is not what it was supposed to be. This is not supposed to be about an inch or two. And you can say, oh, we get it right all the time because of the review, but no, you don't. Because there are plays that are called offside. I bet you if you reviewed it, it's not offside, and the team loses a rush on that play.
Right. Well, here's an odd way to look at this. In tennis, if you want to challenge a ball being out, you have to do it right away. What if you had to do that in hockey? What if you had to make the challenge call? Like, so on an entry, you had to challenge right away.
Yeah, but who is going to hear that or know that right away? You can't.
Long shot, score. There's a bullet from Philip Brugesser, and it's 4-0.
Did he ever hammer that? Brugesser had 9 goals in the German league, the DEL, this year. And that is a rocket.
And that's going to be it, I think, for Bounds.
Jackson Whistle getting his helmet on, and so that'll be 2 games in a row that Bounds gets the hook. He gave up all 8 against Canada, although he was peppered with 51 shots. This is a point shot clean all the way through, and it's 4-0 Denmark.
Brugesser played for the Danish junior team that won promotion of the 2011 World Junior Division 1A Championship. comes Jackson Whistle, who faced 5 shots in relief against Canada, stopped them all. See Adam Keefe talking to Bounds. So Whistle, native of Kelowna, BC, spent 5 years in the Western League, went to the Memorial Cup final with Kelowna in 2015. Plays for Sheffield in the EIHL, the Elite Ice Hockey League. And by the way, in Great Britain, you need to say ice hockey because field hockey is quite popular. So a tough day for Bounds.
Bodker stays with the puck below the goal line and pokes it back to Brugesser, who's got time, all kinds of time to walk into this, and this is off the pipe and in.
Okay, so just on your offside thought, you know, the Matt Duchene goal a few years ago in the playoffs, which was what, 3 feet offside?
Or more, and when's the last time we saw one like that?
Okay, so what if there's as Meyer works in, shoots that rolling puck and Whistle makes the stop, there's some sort of, I don't know if you have to press a button or activate a light, whatever you want to do, to call a challenge right away, because once the play is underway, Hammond comes in, centers it, and a pretty good stop there by Dam. And an interference call is coming as Lake had a chance in tight.
I've got an easier way.
Get rid of it?
Well, if you're not going to get rid of it, if the challenge is more than 15 seconds after or 10 seconds after the entry, you can't challenge it. Puck goes over the line. If it's 11 seconds later, too bad. You have time to defend after that. You're back there. There's the penalty, and the players crash into the boards on the far side.
Ooh. So Great Britain to the power play for the second time rather.
First one, they didn't get a shot. Uh-oh.
And Lars Ehler's away shorthanded. In behind O'Connor. 2-on-0 shorthanded. Ehler plays it across, and Storm gets a chance. Whistle makes the pad save. And Ehler could argue he got hooked on the way in. Farmer to Shields, who bounces that down. And Nicholas Jensen back to pick it up. Poked back in the corner by Perlini. Brought back out by Hammond. And here's Perlini. Centering pass. Shields didn't get all of that. And Dan kicked away what was left.
Yeah, I just think it's gotten to the point where you have such lengthy challenges for plays that they're trying to decipher by a couple of centimeters. The other way is to take the camera off the blue line. Because if you don't have it on the blue line, you're only going to challenge the most obvious calls.
And now interference call will go against Britain as Robert Dowd goes off. So that'll do it for the British power play.
Great Britain number 25, for goal interference.
Oh, he runs right into Sebastian Daum in the crease, and an ill-advised between the legs drop pass is intercepted by Eller. There's the hook you were talking about, not called, but Jackson Whistle follows across. Closes off the side, although Frederick Storm's shot looks like it hits the side of the net. So now we got 4-on-4 for 54 seconds before Denmark will get their third power play.
And another penalty coming. This time it's Paul Swindlehurst who will go off again. He got called for delay of game in the first period to set up the 5-on-3 for Denmark.
Face-off win. Swindlehurst is beside the net. Oh, he just knocks him right off his feet as Bodker's chasing the puck. You had mentioned, Gord, he's got a little bit of heat to him, Pete Russell does, and boots the bench in front of him as they're now shorthanded again.
This will be another 5-on-3 in 45 seconds. Jensen Abo to Eller. Jensen Abo, a long shot. That deflects wide. Bodker back on it. Miguel Bodker, the Ottawa Senators, back to Jensen Abo. And Eller, a hard shot, scores. A rocket from Eller on the 4-on-4, and it's 5-0. Pardon me, 4-on-3 power play goal. So a 5-0 lead for the Danes.
3 power play goals for Denmark here. Eller gets to stand on top of the circle, and he just rockets this over top of the glove. 3 of the 4 players on the ice for Denmark have NHL experience, and it shows as Bodker finds Jensen Abo at the top. Their best defenseman puts this right on the tee for Lars Eller, and Eller's second goal of the tournament is up over the glove hand, and it's 5-0.
So the first British penalty is gone. Now it's 4-on-4 for 25 more seconds. And a long rink-wide pass is knocked down by Ben O'Connor for Hammond. And Oliver Lauritsen knocks that down. Bodker up ahead for Regan. And the Danish captain was chopped down. David Phillips brings it out now for Great Britain. Rink-wide pass to Hammond. And now Denmark back on the power play here for a minute and change. And Nicholas Jensen, a quick chance there. Stopped by Whistle, gets the pad down. They whack away at it, and Whistle hangs on.
Well, there's no point in the game now that Denmark has felt threatened here as Oliver Larsson gets a couple of cracks at it before he gets buried from behind. You see the puck sitting right on the post. Whistle has got his foot pressed right up tight against the pipe. Played 140 games for Vancouver and Kelowna in the Western Hockey League before coming overseas. His father played in Britain, a goaltender as well.
Nicholas Jensen feeds that back to Marcus Lauritsen. And Nick Jensen. Back to Lauritsen, slaps it across to Eller. Rink wide pass and a quick shot by Jensen, scores, and it's 6-0. Another power play goal for Denmark.
I was watching Lars Eller playing the left side here on the power play and thinking, it must be fun. Your career is as a two-way guy. It's a matchup guy. Now you come over to the World Championship, you get to anchor the power play. He hasn't done that in years. Watch this pass he makes right through the seam, and Nick Jensen, who can really shoot the puck. We mentioned he had 11 shots in the last game against Germany. 21 goals in the KHL this year for Jokerit. He too blows this one over the glove of Whistle, but it's a terrific pass from Eller, and it's now 6-0.
So you know what that means?
Oh boy, here we go. It's pretty early for trivia, isn't it?
Yeah, we're early in the second here.
Yeah, we get
So timeout called by Coach Peter Russell. His players joke about the fact he's got a real thick Scottish accent and speaks really quickly. And when you don't know him at first, it's hard to pick up exactly what he's saying at times.
I'm sure it's not hard to pick up what he's saying right now.
All right, here's your question. Are you ready?
Well, you've already got it prepared?
Yeah, well, I kind of thought this might happen.
Oh, okay, yeah, so we'll give it a go.
Who is the all-time leader in goal scoring at the World Hockey Championship?
I'm guessing somebody from a smaller country.
No.
No, really?
No.
I was thinking somebody that had played in about 23 of these or something.
No, big country.
I am totally off the mark here.
Well, think about the countries that dominated for so long before the NHL players started going. Oh,
that was interesting. That would be the Soviet Union.
Yes, so there's your country.
I don't think it could be Valery Harlamov.
No.
certainly one of those players from that
Yeah,
era.
and for my money, the greatest of those players. Walking in, Jesper Jensen with a quick shot, and the stop is made by whistle. Although you get an argument that IIHF was, it's not him.
I don't know. I can't come up with it.
Boris Mihailov,
Oh,
who's a great player.
he was a nasty piece of business.
Yes, he was. There's that too.
How many?
I think he had 89. No, sorry, 98. 98.
No, there were some games there they were playing that were, they were lapping the field.
Tretiak won 10 gold medals at the World Championship. Phillips back for it.
And that was all amateurs back then too.
Oh yeah, they're all in the Army. Look how that puck goes rocketing the British bench. And play is called. There were times when Canada didn't send teams to the World Championship or to the Olympics as a protest about the so-called amateur rules at the time. The first true pros were allowed at the Olympics in 1988. Remember the waiver was made for Canada was allowed to add 3
I would
players.
say they had 3 or 4, right?
And Randy Gregg was one, I think.
Steve Tambellini.
Yeah,
Andy Moog was in goal.
yeah. And then full pro participation if teams chose in 1992.
That was why the 72 series, or this is why I think the 72 series was just so incredible. As we knew so very little about the Soviet Union and their players, and just that they were supposed to be really good. And then we got introduced to a whole group of players that had been, before information was readily available, before players that were just a rumor.
Well, you're a brave TV commentator, but not as brave as Brian Conacher was. Brian Conacher did the color on that series for all 8 games and warned people before the tournament. He played in the 68 Olympics and said, these players are good. I've played against them, and people call him a commie lover and everything else, and he was right. They were pretty good.
Well, just imagine what he must have felt in 6.5 minutes of game 1 when Canada was up 2-0.
Yeah.
They're like, well, these guys aren't that good. 7-3 later, and off and running. But even later on, we just didn't know enough about the players. You go play them and not have any idea who they were.
12:39 to go here in the second. 6-0 Denmark leads. Six nothing the score here in Kosice in Bratislava. Still no score in the second period between Latvia and Italy. The shots are 34-4. Andreas Bernard is the goaltender for Italy.
I gotta be honest with you, I'm kind of happy Dennis Bayak and Mike Johnson are doing that game.
I'm going to say that Bernard is going to be the player of the game for Italy, regardless of what happens from here on out.
They wouldn't dare play him against Russia tomorrow, would they?
No, I would hope not.
Could you imagine how tired he's going to be?
That puck bounced into the Danish bench and play is called.
Lars Eller's got 3 points. A beautiful pass to Jensen for the first goal on the power play. A rocket over Whistle on another power play, and then this pass to Nick Jensen. 3 power play points for Eller, 4 points on the tournament for him. And you know, what they're playing for that 4th spot.
Yeah, they'd like, you know, so the key for them is, right, if you look at them, they got the 2 points against France. That's probably a game where they went in thinking they might have a chance at 3, but you need probably 9 to get to the quarterfinals. Denmark has done it twice in their current run of the top division in 2010 and 2016.
You know, they're, like everybody, I guess their big game will be against Slovakia. If you think Finland, Canada, and the U.S. have the first 3 spots.
Right, so if you win this game today,
well,
and
it's going to be hard not to.
Right,
now,
but you beat that's 5 points.
Yep.
You probably got to come up with 4. So even beating the Slovak, you need 1 more point somewhere to get to the quarters.
With the big chunk of your schedule sitting right in front of you.
Right. Now, a win over Slovakia would help. That would give you the tiebreak.
I do like tournament hockey when you get down towards the end and somebody's got a 2-point win, somebody's got a 3-point win, and
I love the 3 points for a regulation win. I think in the NHL, teams were down, say 6 or 7 points out of the playoffs late in the year, they'd be pulling their goaltender and tie games to try to get to that 3rd point for a regulation win.
Doesn't seem to be much appetite for that.
Nope. I gave up that fight a long time ago. Does seem odd to me that some games in the NHL are worth 2 points, others are worth 3, but.
Oh, you wouldn't be the only one. I'm with you on that.
There is Heinz Ehlers. So Nikolai Ehlers, his son, was injured late in the season for Winnipeg. Apparently he has a foot injury.
Yeah, blocked a shot in the playoffs.
Yeah, so the Deans have asked Winnipeg for him and have been told that he's still hurt. His father doesn't agree, apparently. Not sure father knows best is the appropriate title for this particular situation.
And sometimes parental involvement is not encouraged.
Lead pass for Hammond. And Hammond tries to poke that free. Nicholas Jensen for Peter Regan. Regan spent parts of 7 seasons in the NHL with Ottawa, the Islanders, Chicago. And now Lake plays it ahead for Davies. Here tonight we'll have Germany and France. And Great Britain back in action tomorrow against the United States. Marcus Lorentzen brings it across for Denmark. Drops it off to Bodker. You talked about it for Canada, Ray, in the game against Great Britain, just the feeling of scoring and how important that is. Lars Eller will come out of this feeling good about himself. As Lakowitz works in now for Great Britain. Lakowitz, a little backhand shot, stopped by Daum. 38th was the charm. Latvia's got a 1-0 lead on the 38th shot of the game, Roberts Bukarts. Fed back across, little backhand shot, score! And that's Nick Jensen to make it 7-0.
It's a pretty nice move here by Jensen as he gets his 2nd consecutive goal. Oh, a nice play by Storm to keep this alive, and takes the pass from Eller, and he's got enough room, does Jensen, to run back to the middle of the ice. 4 points now for Eller as he starts this 3-way passing play, and underneath the pad a whistle.
And that is a team record for Denmark at the World Championship. The first time the Danes have ever scored 7 goals in a game. Icing call, 8:51 to go here in the 2nd period.
nice play by Storm here as he got Jensen coming on the outside, and after a while, there's no way to stop the onslaught.
Off the face-off, Paulson plays it in for Olesen.
Already 14 players have points for Denmark here.
By the way, Kazakhstan and Belarus are coming up next year from Division 1A. And a chance for Jonas Jensen to diving across his whistle to make the stop on that. Their icing call against the Danes. Julian Jakobsen with a chance there.
The puck's going to slide out here. He's going to shoot it at the sharp angle. That's a heck of a diving effort by Jackson Whistle. Whistle going left to right, spread full out. And like a shortstop, gets the backhanded glove on it to make the save.
That shot trickles wide, and now moving up is Larson on it. Oliver Larson throws that back in the slot. Jesper Jensen feeds it across. Another good stop by Whistle, this time by Matthias Bau. You mentioned that Bau missed the entire season this year for Hershey of the American League. Suffered a ruptured spleen at the start of the year. You can have your spleen removed. He chose not to, rehabbed it, and missed the entire season. Remember, Peter Forsberg famously had his removed and returned late in the playoffs for Colorado. There was a journalist who lauded him for playing with only one spleen.
I didn't know there was an option to have more.
Very few hockey writers have been to medical school. 7:16 to go here in the second.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here is our noise speaker. So make some noise for your names now. Come on, everybody, come over here, those speakers, do something to destroy our machine. You can make this one happen, everybody. Come on.
Denmark has set a team record by scoring its 7th goal against Great Britain. A team that has always been goal challenged in this tournament, Denmark. And we saw it, of course, at the World Junior Championship this year, Ray. They just couldn't score, especially in the power play when they needed to. And as a result, we're relegated from the top group at the World Junior after 5 years at the top level. That's a pretty good accomplishment for Denmark.
The age-out qualification is really difficult for the smaller countries. You might get a birth year that doesn't have a lot of depth. There's nothing you can do about it. Where at this level, if you have a strong component to players, they can be together for a decade.
We'll see Germany later today. This is brought in now. Chance Myers feeds it back across, and the pass missed Ferrara. Bettridge back with it in the corner. The shots are 26-10, and a crease violation called against Britain. The face-off will come outside.
Nicholas Jensen was frustrated in the last game. He had 3 minor penalties, 11 shots on goal, hadn't scored in the tournament. Well, he's on the board a couple of times here in this period. A power play marker, a slapper over the glove of Whistle, and then taking the pass from Frederick Storm, cutting into the middle of the ice and getting his 2nd goal of the night and of the tournament.
mentioned that Germany, we'll see later on tonight, has qualified for the top division at both the World Junior and the Under-18s for next year after several years in the wilderness. Germany trying to kickstart, reset its program. Got a pretty good team here at this tournament.
They do, and you know the key to that, Gord, they qualify at for the World Junior Tournament, but to me is that they qualify at the U18 because that sets them up for a few years as those players will move into the age range when a lot of them will play at the World Junior level.
Walking in, a quick shot taken there by Hammond, kicked away by Dam. Lake with it now. Throws it back to Mosey. And Mosey moves in, that's blocked by Storm. And Storm back with Eller. We mentioned the Danes have some good young players. Ron Bier, we talked about, was a 4-time World Junior player for Denmark. Joachim Blickfeld.
Matthias Fromm is another.
Yeah, Fromm's with San Jose right now, as you mentioned, an extra for them during the playoffs, but Blickfeld 53 goals in his third year with the Portland Winterhawks. Played with Cody Glass much of the year.
Cody Glass signed and has played in his first American League playoffs. He's got 4 goals in the playoffs as Chicago, which is Las Vegas's farm team, has advanced to their conference finals.
Long shot taken there by Julian Jakobsen, goes high and wide. 4.5 to go here in the second period. Latvia leading Italy 1-0. Centering pass and a chance for Paulson, scores! Morten Paulson makes it 8-0.
There's a couple for Paulson today as well. A lot of people are getting well here.
Cookies everywhere.
After a decent shift in the offensive zone, now Britain's a little gassed here. They start wandering around in their zone, everybody chasing the puck. Watch how everybody's head focuses back behind the net. And when they're looking there, whoops, here comes Paulson right down the middle. Whistle's given up 4 goals in this period after relieving Ben Bounds, who gave up 4 in just over a period.
Another steal. And Jesper Jensen couldn't tap home that pass from Meyer. Denmark a long ways away from the record for the most goals in a World Championship game. They were on the receiving end of a 48-0 defeat in the hands of Canada, or 47-0 rather, in 1949.
47? I played on a team that lost 16-1.
Where?
In Portland. We lost to
the Western League?
Yes, we lost to the Victoria Cougars 16-1. We won the Memorial Cup that year too.
Who got the one?
Oh, not me. I got benched that game halfway through the second period.
You lost interest?
No, me and 4 other guys got benched, and the coach made us stay on the bench during the intermission.
What?
Yes, because he said we were no good. So we sat on the bench during the intermission, watched the scoring thing, you know, like the...
Oh yeah, the contest, yeah.
The contest, the Zamboni going around, fans leaning over the glass telling us how terrible we are. I'll finish this after the break. There's a lot more to this.
Can't wait. Gary Kosica, 8-0 Denmark leads Great Britain. So just to recap what happened before the break, Ray was telling us about the Portland Winterhawks losing 16-1 at home.
No, we were on the road in Victoria.
That's all different.
Yes.
To Victoria, and you were benched as Hammond moves in against Pocek.
We were down 8-0 in the second period, and they benched myself and 4 other players.
Okay, and you were told to stay on the bench during the intermission.
So Zamboni's doing its thing. Fans are leaning over, telling us how terrible we are. So the game continues in the third period. The team comes back out. We're still benched. Somehow, it's about 11-0. We get a too many men on the ice penalty.
Here comes Boxer, shoots, and a glove save, a nice one by Whistle.
So Jim Playfair, the former NHL coach, he has to serve the penalty. He's one of us 5 guys that are benched. So as he goes across the ice, our coach says, when the penalty's over, come right back to the box. Naturally, Jim comes out of the box and gets a breakaway. He doesn't know what to do. He's looking at the bench, he's looking at the goalie, he ends up shoveling into the goalie's pads. Coach loses it on him. I told you to come back to the bench. Anyway, we lose 16-1. Game ends, team leaves, we got to sit on the bench. He won't let us off. So we've been sitting there for a couple hours.
What do you mean?
Well, the coach won't let us leave. Myself, Kenya Remchuk was there, as I recall. So anyways, some fan yells across, "Hey, coach, what are you going to do with them? We got all night." So eventually they kick us off the bench. We go in, the team's all showered and dressed. We have to load the bus. Us 5 guys. We're not allowed to talk to anybody. This is the next rule. So my dad had driven 8 hours from Trail to the ferry in Vancouver, taking the ferry across to Victoria. And after the game, now I'm not allowed to talk to him. My dad was about 5'7". And I said, "Dad, I can't talk to you." I'm walking by, he's like, "Raymond, stop." And so I stopped. And so for people that think coaches and managers were not different back then, this is what we were doing. And so I stopped and talked to Dad. Of course, nobody was going to say anything to him at that point. But we had to stay overnight because we couldn't get the ferry back to Portland the next day. That was about as miserable a 24 hours as I can remember. And a few months later, we won the Memorial Cup. 16-1. The puck was going, I don't remember their goal song, but you think it would be tattooed in my brain.
Meyer shoots, that's kicked up by Down.
Every time we turned around, it was in our net. Best part about getting benched, though, you can only pile up so many minuses.
What were you in that game?
Oh, I imagine I had picked up a 3 or 4 dash by then.
Brought in now by Swindlehurst. He fired that wide.
I can still see Jim Playfair going in on that breakaway. You're like, what are you going to do? You got a breakaway. You can't dump it in the corner.
I remember Peter Laviolette like this. He was on both ends of a 13-1 score in one season coaching the American League. They won one 13-1 and lost one 13-1.
What do they say? You're never as good as you think you are. You're never as bad as you think you are.
Or maybe you're both.
Yes.
The time winds down here. It's a record-setting day for Denmark. An 8th spot for the first time in the country's history of the World Championship. 8-0 the lead after 2 periods.
Shots on goal in the second period. Denmark 15, Great Britain 7. Stali nabránku v druhej tretine, Dánsko 15, Veľká Británia 7. In Barcelona, the score between Italy and Latvia is 0-2. Bratislava je Slovakia medzi Talianskom a Lotyšskom 0-2.
8-0. Denmark the lead after 2 periods of play. So a tough day for the Great Britain squad that came here with their goaltender Ben Bounds having qualified last year out of Division 1A. A lot of people thought they'd get relegated out of that last year. They came up from the 3rd level. They were a long shot even to stay up at the 2nd level last year.
Outshot 4 of the 5 games they played. Bounds was spectacular.
They beat Slovenia, Poland, Italy, and then Hungary in the shootout. Bounds stopped 2 penalty shots in the tournament, including 1 in that game against Hungary.
You know, we saw this a little bit with Hungary and also with South Korea. When you get into a tournament like this and you have to play multiple times, you start to get worn down a little bit. And, you know, when everything you have becomes not enough, you just run out of gas.
So can you summon it somehow for 1 game to win and avoid relegation?
Well, you can if you don't get run over quickly, right? Like if you could shorten the game out against a comparable opponent, then you got a chance. This game was over so quickly.
Yeah, the 5-on-3 really.
Boom, boom, it's in the net and twice.
The game against Hungary is one of the all-timers in IIHF competition as Jensen moves in and shoots, and we got a crease violation being called against the Danes. They had to get at least a point in that game. They were down with 15 seconds to go. They got the tying goal and then gave up a breakaway. But that point guaranteed them a spot and denied Hungary a place. And Budapest is only a couple of hours from here. A bit of disappointment for the Hungarians, who have been relegated a couple of years earlier from the top level of the World Championship.
Now, we did enjoy when they were in the tournament. They were fun.
And the Brits actually do the same thing Hungarian fans did. They sing the national anthem after the anthem the winning team has played.
It was such a good start for them. They were tied 1-1 in the 3rd period against Germany. They gave up 2 pretty quick goals, and that was the end of that game. And then they got run over by Canada, and now by the same score here, losing to Denmark.
There is Heinz Ehlers, assistant coach last year on the Danish national team.
Drafted in 1984 by the New York Rangers. I'm sure he feels pretty good to see his team get back here, and so this will give them 5 points in the tournament.
He said normally you need 9 under this format to get to the quarterfinal round, but the real heavy lifting is ahead for Denmark. Meyer up ahead for Bow. There's some real giants playing in this tournament. You got Matthias Bow, is a 6'7", 240-pounder. We'll see one of your favorites, Dennis Royal, later for Germany.
Oh yeah.
Hulking defenseman.
What are they saying he's weighing these days? Because he looks like he's about 250. Like, he's a big
They got him
guy.
at 243. And of course, you've got Marcus Antila from Finland at 6'8", 230. Be a good basketball tournament, too.
Good chance here. Olsson's got a couple assists, and Whistle's able to stay square to this and just chew this one up. Olsson plays in the Allsvenskan in Sweden. Had a pretty good year, 37 points in 48 games.
Lots of good Danish players in the NHL these days. He was, of course, terrific for Winnipeg. Freddie Anderson, the goaltender in Toronto. Frans Nielsen's been a long-time player, now with Detroit. Olsson works in, he got poke checked there by Swindlehurst. Walker's had a long career in the league, and you've got those young kids coming. You mentioned Rombier, Blickfeld, and From. A lot of Danish youngsters grow up playing in Sweden, which is right next door. Literally 10 minutes from Copenhagen to Malmo, Sweden.
Oliver Bjorkstrand's another one.
Yeah. Now Now brought in by Storm. Frederick Storm busts in. Little backhand shot kicked away by Whistle. Storm throws it back in front. Waiting for it is Larson. Oliver Larson. Plays it down to Jesper Jensen. And Nick Jensen back with it. Throws that back in front. It's knocked down by O'Connor. Berlini. Moves it and shoots, and Dom makes a stop on that. You can hear the players for Great Britain in the tunnel before they came out saying, keep competing, keep going, keep fighting. That's the hard part, right?
It most certainly is, but you have to remember this is something that you've dreamed about doing, and you knew that there was going to be some tough moments, but don't forget that you're actually here and it's a thrill to be here. Find some more energy.
Long shot by Oliver Lauritsen, knocked away. Richardson back to pick it up. That's knocked down at center ice by Matthias Lawson. A late addition to this Danish lineup. They've still got some spots left. Lawson has that shot blocked. Picked up by Lake. He's poke checked by Jensen Abo. As long as you got a roster spot, you can add a player as late as you like. So the Danes could wait till as late as the medal round to add Ehlers should they get that far.
Another week might make a difference too for his rehab or his healing. Mentioned he blocked a shot in that first round series against St. Louis. Nikolai Ehlers is one of those players that has had really good success in the regular season. He's now on a 0 for 20 or 21 stretch in the playoffs. There's Lars Eller, who's had quite a day. A goal and 3 helpers.
Well, if you get a chance, check out the pictures and video of his Stanley Cup celebration last summer in Copenhagen. They expected a couple thousand. They got more like 20,000. Just an incredible afternoon in Copenhagen with the Stanley Cup. They mentioned the first Danish trained player to win it.
Cup clinching goal in Vegas in Game 6.
And a huge goal to keep Washington alive in the first round against Columbus. He scored the overtime winner in Game 3. Well, it went off him.
I was going to say, nobody's going to ask him in a while, or even right now, how it went in. Off his foot and in.
But that saved them. They
that,
were
that
all
close.
but done.
Yep, that close to going down 3-0 to the Blue Jackets. And
in comes Paulson with it now on Mosey. And Mosey ranges back. You want me to say Mosey's back, don't you?
he's pretty good. I saw an interview with him. He calls himself the grocery stick because he plays both forward and defense, so he sits right between the defense and he says, so I got to separate the defense and the goalies, or defense and the forwards on the bench.
Farmer moves in, drops it back, and Dom makes the stop. Can't hang on, and now picked out and brought the other way. As Jakobsen picks it out. And behind the play, we've got a penalty coming. There's a collision with Dom. Play continues here and finally touched up by Great Britain. And Robert Farmer will go off for interference. And Denmark's going back to the power play.
Number 10, Leonard Valley for interference.
Tuesday in Kosice, Slovakia, just after 6 o'clock local time in the evening. In Bratislava, a 2-0 lead for Latvia on Italy. The shots are 56-9.
Bad news, Britain shorthanded. Worse news, Denmark's already got 4 power play goals.
You're taking the over?
It's long past the over now. They've moved the puck well here,
Yeah.
the Danes have on the power play.
And you know what? For a team like Denmark that doesn't score easily, this is important.
Oh, they start to feel, you do feel better about yourself. They've got a chance to handle it and move it around. I'm not so sure they need to run out their #1 power play
Well,
right
I was going to
now.
ask you about that. That's sort of it's a no-no in North America. Not as big a thing here, but
Well, Denmark's been on the other side of this. They should know better. Like, I don't agree with this.
yeah. We've seen this at the World Junior a number of times where catchers will do that. I mean, goal difference can be a tiebreaker, theoretically. It's way down the list.
That was one of the good changes they've made, you know, with the parameters of the tournament, is they took away the goal differential being from the whole tournament.
Yeah, it's just between the tied team. Now, I mean, Denmark, more likely to be tied by Great Britain than, say, by Canada, but yeah, I'm with you on that. It's just a different thing. You know, the Russians for years have always run their top players and top power play out late and blow out games. Swedes do it. It's just...
Well, to me, it makes no sense for a couple of reasons. One, I think it's unnecessary. It's kind of terrible sportsmanship if you're into that, and I think there's a certain level where you have to be, or you should be. Secondly is, how about get your guys out that don't score a lot? Let them score. Let them have some chances. Maybe they feel a little better about their game. They get you a goal that you need later in a tournament. And they get bored watching the same 10 guys on the power play too.
Nabo slaps it across, takes a return pass from Meyer. Farmer steps back on. That shot was blocked, and Farmer races to it. Farmer works in along with Perlini. Picked up by Swindlehurst. The one thing, though, that we've seen over the years, Ray, is that European coaches tend to stick with the same line combinations, the same order of players. It very rarely changes. Like the number of times, how many times do you see a European coach switch the lines in the middle of a game unless there's an injury?
Yeah,
like Peter Regan's out tonight. He got hurt in the first period. They're pulling him up for precaution. But other than that, they rarely switch the lines in mid-game.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Don't tend to match as much. And walking right in, Jakobsen with a chance, turned away in tight by Whistle. But you're right. I mean, Denmark's been on the receiving end of some bad ones, and there's an offside call with 10:51 to go.
Well, Great Britain is, as you mentioned before the period, said that they were going to continue to work hard, continue to try and generate a little bit, try and get on the board. They're going to give up a scoring chance here. Really good head of steam. Julian Jakobsen comes through the middle of the ice and makes a nice drive around David Phillips and tries to go up top, but Whistle makes that stop.
Dowd swings back for it. Britain plays the United States tomorrow, Finland Friday, Slovak Saturday, and then France on Monday.
Get a look at Jack Hughes tomorrow for the first time without his visor, or with a visor, without his cage.
Yeah, turned 18 today.
The guys were saying he looked even younger today out on the ice, which is hard to do because he looks like a young guy.
Now a centering pass got knocked away. And here's Lee with it, wearing the full face shield after being hit with a puck earlier in the week. Storm with it. IIHF used to relegate one team, promote another every year. They've gone to the 2 promotion, 2 relegation since they expanded the field of 16 teams. You wonder if maybe relegating one might make more sense, but you also want to give hope to the teams in the lower division to keep that moving as well.
Well, just think how many countries we've talked to over the last few years to talk about what an immense success this is to get promoted. And if it's just one team per year, I don't know. I'm okay with the 2 teams, I think.
Faulkner centers it and was knocked away from Madsen and brought ahead by Davies.
The trick is to get promoted and then to stay for a little bit.
Well, Denmark's done it the World Junior until this year. I mean, those 5 years in the top division were enormous for Danish hockey. And Olaf Eller, their coaches, talked about the importance of that and just being in those tournaments, exposing their players to that. You know, it's a little bit like the NHL referee Garrett Rank, who qualified for the U.S. Open golf tournament, right? I mean, he missed the cut, so what? He played the U.S. Open.
Right.
You know, like, people might understand how Great Britain would feel great about being here, but they're playing at the top division of the World Championship. No one in their generation has been able to say that. And now the glass got knocked out at that end of the ice. We'll take a break with 8:15 to go in the third. Lars Eller goes off for Denmark, so Great Britain gets a power play here, but the glass is still broken, so they're going to have to get that fixed.
Doesn't look like anybody's hustling to it here.
Why don't you get down there and fix it?
Oh, it's all ball bearings these days, Gord.
This is a hit by Lorentzen that
he should have to fix it. Lorentzen. Look at that. That's a big dude. He played for the Flyers organization, 16 games, 225 in the American Hockey League, and in the KHL now in Jokerit.
Played at St. Cloud State. Mark Rowe in the studio for us. Let's send it back to them for a moment. Yeah.
Oh, that would have been good. I thought you said Dave Reed, and I was like, oh my God.
pass is fixed, so Great Britain will have a power play here with 8:15 to go. Oh, wait a minute.
Not
Wait a
so
minute.
fast.
Hold it. Tell me they didn't put that thing in backwards.
He's got to get the netting sorted. I got to tell you, Gord, I'd be really angry at Lawrenson
If you're his teammate?
if I'm his teammate.
Well, it's not his fault.
There was a penalty being called. The play was over. We're up 8. Move it along. I'm not even kidding here. I'm not even trying to make a joke.
I know you're not. I know. I'm well aware. Here's a shorthanded chance now for Morton Paulson. Moves in, scores. And the first shorthanded goal on this side of the draw. And Lawrenson with a feed to Paulson, who's got 3.
It's a beautiful shorthanded goal.
Hat trick for Paulson, who came in with 6 goals in 48 games at 7 previous World Championships.
Stolen puck inside the zone, and as he takes it to the backhand, he sticks it right off the bar and in. That's a beauty. Nice little feed through the neutral zone as well. Paulson with his 3rd of the night. Denmark's got 4 power play goals and a shorty.
So an even rougher day gets worse for Great Britain. Down 9. Lake jumps it across the line. Flips that across. Jensen Abo got spun around by Lake. And play continues. Mosey. Head for Kirk. Back across it. Down, they score! That's not going to count. That's a high stick. Nope. And why not laugh?
Shot from the point by Dowd, and yeah, that one's not going to work. Deflected into the net by Myers.
Myers can sure chuckle with Dowd about it. Another chance just wide by Perlini. O'Connor feeds it back across. That second pass by Perlini is broken up. 20 seconds to go on the power play. O'Connor with a drive. Rebound loose in front. They battle away for it. And Robert Farmer couldn't poke that home. The Danes clear it out. Hammond moves in. Drops that back. By the way, the last time a team scored a 10 spot at the World Championship prior to this year was Canada, 10-0 over Germany in 2015 in Prague. Nick Jensen picks that up, and the teams are back to 5-on-5. Rink-wide pass for Storm. Storm moves in and shoots, knocked away by Whistle. Tell you what, the players keep fighting, and so are their fans. British fans have been drumming and clapping and singing throughout. Jesper Jensen feeds it back. In comes Larson with a shot. Whistle gets a stick on that. And it's up and out of play. 5:25 to go in the third. You're watching the 2019 World Hockey Championship. Back here in Kosice, 9-0 Denmark the lead. In Bratislava, Latvia 2-0 lead on Italy. The shots are 64-15.
64 shots against.
He's made 62 saves. Hope those 2 goals weren't bad ones.
What was that story? The Oilers and the Blackhawks in the playoffs.
Oh, it was a regular season game. It was 12-9. I think they won. And Pat Foley said, the voice of the Blackhawks, we scored 9 goals on home ice and we're never in the game. It was like 5-0, 7-2.
I mean, you can say, oh, we only lost 2-0. We gave up 64 shots.
Yeah. Well, there's the famous story about San Jose. Got their first win. Jeff Hackett was the goaltender, and the assistant coach came in with the puck and said, on behalf of the organization, we'd like you to have this. He faced like 68 shots. I saw enough of those tonight, thanks. You keep it.
A lot of odd things that happen. Makes the game so much fun sometimes. Here's Morten Poulsen, who has 3, got a goal in each period. His goal made it 3-0 at the end of the first period. Then late in the second period, he puts away a nice pass. And here, the only goal of the third period, a short-handed marker, or rather second goal of this period, a short-handed marker, and he puts it up in the top of the net.
And here's Jensen, a long shot, and Whistle made the stop on that. Swindlehurst banks it back out. Meyer works it across the line. Meyer drops that back and it misses. Lorentzen swings back. Up for Eller. Eller a centering pass. Paulson again hammered that wide. Paulson returned to Denmark this year after playing the last couple of years in Austria and Finland. Down a lead pass for Farmer, that misfired. Marcus Lorentzen throws it ahead and Dowd knocks it down. Up ahead for Farmer, that misfired. Olesen drops for Paulson. That shot stopped short side by Whistle. Storm in across the line, and the play is offside.
Denmark's next game will be against Finland. Great Britain will go against the United States in their next game. Doesn't matter whether you get steamrolled or not, the tournament rolls on.
That's the thing, right? What is it? You park it, move on, learn from it, and go.
Pick yourself up off the deck.
Right.
And
not a best of 7 series even, you know, they talk about that in a best of 7, just park the last game. Well, here you go. Whoops, Larson's stick broke on it. They got to find a way to win one game. Can you win one? That's usually enough in this format. Normally one win will get you there. Live to fight another day.
Seems likely that it'll just come down to that last game for them.
Against France, yeah. France has 1 point from a shootout loss.
They'll play against Germany later on.
And so France pulls off an upset between now and that game. You're pretty much cooked. Inside 2 to go here in the third period. Icing called against Great Britain, not England. Great Britain. They compete as England and England, Scotland, Wales have their own nation, their own teams in the Olympics, the World Cup of Soccer. Pardon me, sorry, in the World Cup of Soccer, cricket, rugby, they have their own countries. At the Olympics, it's Great Britain. Here it's Great Britain. It depends really how you join the various federations. So FIFA, the World Soccer governing body, England, Scotland, and Wales join individually. Great Britain, one of the founding nations of the IOC, joined as Great Britain, joined the IIHF as Great Britain, so they've always stayed that way. Lakowitz chips that down. Keep hoping Ireland somehow will qualify here, but hasn't happened yet. They take the fan zone to a whole new level when the pros arrive. 3-0 now. Game over. Latvia beats Italy. Final shots were 65-15. Latvia got an empty netter to make it 3-0.
When we were in Atlanta, we'd pull the goaltender quite frequently because we didn't want to get shut out. And oftentimes you'd be thinking, we haven't scored in 59 minutes. We're down 3. We're probably not going to get one here either. We proved that theory over and over again by not getting another one. Oh, what a save.
What a stop there by Whistle. A windmill save, the Bill Ranford style.
I don't even know if Billy Ranford did that one.
Pretty good. Lawrence's shot trickles down. And Swindlehurst bangs that ahead. That shot by Jesper Jensen goes up and out.
Jackson Whistle came in after Ben Bounds had given up 4 goals. He's going to make a nice stop here, but it's this one. The puck flips up and he catches it with his right leg. The back of the right leg.
Oh, the Scorpion.
The Scorpion stop.
Oh, the Scorpion. That wasn't Billy Ranford's barrel roll. That was the.
Oh no,
that was the Scorpion.
What was the goalkeeper's name? The Scorpion. Columbia, I believe.
Oh. Can't remember.
He would punt that thing out from distance.
Yeah.
Right back over top of his head.
And of course, Dominic Hasek made a few of those saves in the NHL. Not to mention saves with his name bar, back of his head. Rene Higuita is the name you're looking for.
Excellent research.
By our producer, Peter Buchanan. And so it comes to an end. 9-0. Denmark beats Great Britain. So Denmark improves to 2-1. And Great Britain drops to 0-3 here at the 2019 World Hockey Championship in Košice, Slovakia.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best players of each team will be awarded the official sponsor of the 2019 IIHF World Championship. Dámy a páni, najlepší hráči obou tímov budú odvedení od Raiffeisen Bank International, oficiálneho sponzora majstrovstiev sveta IIHF 2019 levelu hokeja. The prizes will be presented by Technical Roosevelt and the French General Secretary of Ice Hockey United Kingdom and Juraj Milošević, Regional Director of Raiffeisen Bank. The best player of Great Britain is number 4, Steve Lee. The best player of Denmark is number 38, Morten Larsen. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Denmark. Dámy a
Matthew, unfortunate to fall to Denmark 9-0, a lopsided affair. Was it that 5-on-3 that really was the turning point in this game, unable to crawl out of that hole?
Yeah, obviously that doesn't help. You give up a 5-on-3, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes into the game, they score twice, and you can't go spotting good teams, 2-goal leads, and then right after that they get another one, even strength, and you know, they're a good hockey team, and it's always going to be tough coming back from a 3-goal deficit. But it's very disappointing for us to give up 9 tonight.
Well, it was a no-quit attitude even to the end. You guys battled hard. It was a moment of jubilation. It looked like you had a goal, but unfortunately that was not the case.
Yeah, I know. The refs could have gone to review on it, couldn't they, just to make us feel a little bit better about ourselves. Yeah, it's one of those nights. I mean, we're incredibly disappointed. We came here to stay up, and you know, it's getting ever closer to the end of the tournament now, and we're making it more and more difficult for ourselves to do that. And we really expected to give a better account of ourselves tonight and get something out of this game.
So how do you continue to inspire positivity in the locker room when you've had results like this?
Well, I mean, we've got to be realistic. We come from the group below. You know, many teams come up and they go straight back down. So it's not unusual for these type of results to happen. You know, you're seeing it in the other group too. And we know we're a massive underdogs coming into this tournament. We just have to stay positive. We got a great group in the room. We'll have a laugh and a joke. We're going to be disappointed now, but we're going to come back tomorrow. We're going to play USA. I mean, what a great opportunity that is to play against the best players in the world. Obviously, that's going to be an incredibly tough night for us. But you know, we got 4 games left. We got to build each period now towards the back end of the tournament and see if we can salvage something.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
A historic win for Denmark today, winning at 9-0 over Great Britain. What was working so well for the team today?
I think especially the offense was obviously working really well. I think the puck fell our way today, so you could see that on the score sheet in the end. But it was a great game for us, really good game.
Yeah, and for yourself personally, getting a hat trick, you've never done that before. Did it feel like the puck was just following you around?
Yeah, it was of course a game I'm gonna look back to in the rest of my life probably. It was a proud moment for me. It's a big day, of course.
4 power play goals on the day, and that was one thing that your coach said that he really wanted the team to focus on. Are you pleased with how you were able to respond?
Yeah, exactly. I think everything clicked today, but especially the power play put us in a great position early on, and then I think the rest of the line followed it up in a good way. So it was all around a really good day for us.
Great result, getting the 3 points. How do you carry this momentum forward?
Yeah, now it's a chance for us to look up in the table. Of course, it was a big game today. We know what was at stake, and now we can go out and hopefully make a few surprises and still be a team battling for a quarterfinal.
Congrats on the win. Thank you.
Thank you.
And the hat trick.
Kom,